and welcome to this episode of Springfield Career Insights, where we uncover the fields shaping human potential, mental well-being, and societal transformation. Tonight, we delve into a discipline that touches every aspect of our lives, the Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. From understanding cognitive processes to shaping therapeutic interventions, psychology guides decision making, strengthens communities, and drives mental resilience in a rapidly changing world. In an era where emotional intelligence, behavioral science, and mental health awareness are becoming cornerstones of leadership, education, healthcare, and even technology, training the next generation of psychologists is more vital than ever. To unpack this program, we are honored to be joined by Dr. Timkuk, a leading researcher at SRU whose expertise spans behavioral science, emotional intelligence, law, and applied psychology. Dr. Timkuk, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. It is truly a pleasure to be here. Psychology is not just an academic field. It is a critical framework shaping societies, leadership structures, and human connections. Psychology is woven into every profession, from executive decision making to neurotechnology, from criminal justice reform to sports field psychology. Tonight, we would explore the impact of psychological science, the evolution of mental health research, and how Springfield Research University is preparing graduates to shape the future of human behavior and emotional intelligence.
In a world where everything feels heavy, chaotic, and overstimulated, why is the study of human mind important as well as urgent?
Thank you for that important question, Advocate. The discipline of psychology undoubtedly is a necessary one in these chaotic and overstimulated times, as you correctly described, Advocate. Psychology helps you to understand yourself and to also understand others. It also gives you the impetus to become self-aware, helps you to improve relationships, problem solve, and also show empathy and compassion when interacting with other human beings. Through the exploration of the complexities of the human mind, psychology provides a captivating insight into why people think, feel, and act the way they do. This goes a long way in minimizing misunderstandings and contradictions, fostering cooperation, comprehension of human motivations, and ultimately engendering a healthy social coexistence. The study of the human mind is urgently necessary in current times to address the escalating global mental health crisis, navigate the complex impacts of rapid technological advancement, and foster the critical thinking and empathy required to solve pressing societal challenges and enhance overall human well-being.
What mindset does this program of psychology inculcate in the students, considering that psychology is not just a subject, but a lens through which we understand everything, ranging from trauma, identity, perception, relationships, amongst others?
This is a great question, Advocate. Thank you. It goes without saying that our psychology program is truly transformational in its ability to illuminate complex human experiences like relationships, trauma, identity, and power. It goes beyond superficial observations to reveal the underlying mechanisms, patterns, and influences that shape these fundamental aspects of human life. Our Bachelor of Arts in Psychology program at the Springfield Research University fosters a transformational mindset in students by cultivating critical self-awareness, enhancing empathy for diverse human experiences, promoting evidence-based reasoning, and instilling a growth mindset towards understanding and improving both individual well-being and social dynamics. This mindset equips them with the tools to analyze complex behaviors, question assumptions, and apply psychological principles and evidence-based interventions for positive change in their lives and in the world. If you ask me, It goes without saying that this kind of mindset is needed currently in Eswatini to prepare transformational leaders and change makers who understand the psychological roots of distress, the impact of trauma emanating from gender-based violence and poverty, as well as the importance of accessible, destigmatized mental health services. Through this mindset that we inculcate in our students, they are able to proffer solutions on how the nation can grapple with the psychological impact of joblessness on identity, motivation, and mental health. I dare say that a deep psychological understanding of power imbalances, gender norms, trauma, and the complex circle of abuse is inculcated in our students so that they can graduate to become transformational leaders who would go on and champion initiatives that challenge harmful cultural attitudes, promote healthy masculinity, support survivors with psychologically informed care, and empower women to assert their rights and agency.
What does this program offer?
Thank you for this question. The Bachelor of Arts program in psychology at Springfield Research University is an extremely interesting program. And I say this because in this program, you get an insight into how your mind works and how it differs from your brain. Now, let me give you an example. Your brain is an organ very much like your kidney, your liver, your heart, and any surgeon can open up and touch these organs and carry out physical work on them. However, this is not the case with your mind. Your mind is made up of your values, your beliefs, your levels of cognitive intelligence, decision-making, and personality, amongst other things. Therefore, getting to learn the mind, how and why people act the way they do, is hugely interesting. And our curriculum is designed to provide a broad understanding of the human mind and behavior with essential research and analytical skills. Now, across the 4 years that you will spend at Springfield University, students are exposed to foundational courses such as Introduction to Psychology, Research Methods, and Statistics for Psychology. The curriculum covers other sub-disciplines such as cognitive and abnormal psychology, community and school psychology, and other interesting modules such as bioethics and mental health. People often think of psychology as just therapy. Now at SRU, it is a spectrum. Our curriculum offers psychology modules and topics that often surprise students with their unexpected relevance and profound benefit. Applied courses such as clinical psychology, forensic psychology, which explores the intersection of psychology and the legal system, including criminal profiling, eyewitness testimony, and victim psychology. And then we have neuroscience, psychology of trauma and resilience, which delves into the impact of trauma on the brain and behavior and strategies for coping. We would also have counseling psychology, which focuses on theories and techniques of counseling, and psychotherapy always appeals to our students. Now, throughout their studies, psychology students at our institution also often engage in laboratory work. They conduct their own small-scale research projects and develop strong critical thinking, analytical, and communication skills, which of course are highly valued in diverse professional settings.
Thank you, Dr. Timkuk. Let's take a break and listen to a song called Echoes of Healing.
Through the halls of Springfield, voices rise, seeking hope beyond the pain in their eyes. In the science of the soul, we break through, turning knowledge into healing, pure and true. We stand together, hearts set free. Springfield, it's as strong as can be. Through the trials, through the fight, past, we rise with strength. We learn so fast, the power of thought, the will to mend, a journey of care that never ends. We stand together, hearts set free. Springfield lives as strong as can be. Through the trials, through the fight, mental health shines in the morning light.
Hey everyone, ready for more music? Let's listen to another song and keep the good vibes going.
In the halls of Springfield, where dreams take flight, faculties diverse, shining bright. From arts and law to business and education, a world of knowledge, endless exploration. Springfield, where futures are made, agricultural and earth, sciences, health and medical aid, engineering and electronics, innovations call, postgraduate studies, we systematize and industrialize all. In labs and classrooms, brilliance unfolds. Students choose paths, stories told. Science and technology, where minds ignite. Springfield stands tall, a beacon of light. Springfield, where futures are made, agricultural and earth, sciences, health and medical aid, engineering and electronics, innovations call, postgraduate studies, we systematize and industrialize all. With dramatic strings and brass so bold, a cinematic climax, stories untold. Springfield's legacy, a tale so grand. Future leaders rise, taking a stand. Springfield, where futures are made, agricultural and earth, sciences, health and medical aid, engineering and electronics, innovations call, postgraduate studies, we systematize and industrialize all.
Welcome back. Let's continue with our discussion. Which kinds of people graduate from this program and where can this degree take them?
Thank you for this question. Now, let me say that our BA in Psychology at Springfield Research University does not just produce graduates. Here we prepare and cultivate uniquely rounded individuals in character and learning by honing critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and empathy while fostering a deep understanding of human behavior, motivation, and mental well-being. Our graduates are not just theorists. They are well-formed individuals equipped with practical skills and competencies needed to excel in diverse fields like human relations and organizational development, fostering positive workplace cultures, marketing and consumer insights, understanding what drives human choices in social work, rehabilitation, and counseling, providing crucial support to society and livelihoods. They thrive in education, creating impactful learning environments, also in law enforcement, in public policy and research, shaping systems that genuinely serve people. The ability of our graduates to understand, predict, and influence human dynamics make them invaluable assets across every sector of the economy. Let me reiterate unequivocally that our psychology graduates possess a highly versatile skill set, opening doors to diverse careers beyond traditional clinical roles. While many go on to pursue advanced degrees to become licensed psychologists in clinical counseling, educational, industrial, organizational, forensic psychology, or neuropsychology, others take up roles, as I have mentioned, in human resources, social work, market research, education, public relations, and criminal justice. Their understanding of human behavior, strong analytical mindset, and research skills, and excellent communication capabilities make them, of course, invaluable assets in any sector that requires insight into people, decision-making, and organizational dynamics, offering broad pathways in both the public and private sectors.
How does the study of psychology impact students, shaping and changing their world outlook, and how they respond to the external world and those within it?
Great question, Advocate. Now, needless to say that as soon as they walk through our doors, our psychology students immediately begin to develop a nuanced, evidence-based understanding of human behavior, moving beyond simplistic assumptions. You will immediately find that they tend to treat others, their peers, for example, family members and associates, with greater empathy and less judgment, recognizing the complex interplay of internal and external factors that often influence his actions. Take, for instance, the psychological theory of fundamental attribution error, which is the tendency to overestimate personality traits and underestimate situational influences when explaining other people's behavior. He is just lazy, people often conclude, according to the fundamental attribution theory, without recourse to other considerations such as family crisis or other problems that may be confronting the individual. Now our students understand better that when someone misses a deadline, for example, instead of immediately thinking they are irresponsible, they might consider what external pressures or challenges they might be facing. Now this shift from quick judgment to seek context fosters empathy and improves interpersonal understanding in daily interactions of our students.
How future-ready is the BA Psychology curriculum design?
Thank you, Advocate. Now at Springfield Research University, we recognize that we live in a rapidly evolving world and job market. We're preparing graduates with adaptive skills and competencies to undertake the jobs of the future. Traditional BA psychology programs often provide a solid theoretical base and core research skills. The strength of a psychology degree lies in its development of critical thinking, problem solving, communication, and empathy skills highly valued across diverse sectors. However, At Springfield, to be truly future ready, our program integrates several contemporary elements. So beyond statistics, our students understand big data concepts, cyber psychology, digital psychology, AI and machine learning in psychology. Now exploring how AI is being used in psychological assessment, diagnosis, for example, chatbots, virtual agents for initial screening and therapeutic interventions, as well as their ethical implications. There is also telehealth and digital mental health, training in conducting remote therapy sessions, understanding digital platforms for mental health, and the unique challenges and opportunities they present. We also delve into the ethical considerations in technology, specific modules addressing the unique ethical dilemmas posed by AI, big data, and digital interventions in psychology.
Mental health is increasingly both medicalized and misunderstood. How does this program equip students with the tools to deal with these challenges?
This is a fantastic question. Okay, let's put this in context. Eswatini, like many African countries, is faced with a significant mental health crisis, marked by high suicide rates, widespread stigma, and limited access to mental health services. Other challenges include a critical shortage of professionals and cultural beliefs that often attribute mental illness to witchcraft and other things. Therefore, our program is carefully tailored to be sensitive to these realities and contexts. We have aligned our programs to address most of these challenges, such that upon graduation, our graduates are ready to become solution providers and narrative shapers in the grand scheme of things. Our program prepares students who hold the ultimate key to unlocking the mental health crisis in the country and the region by shifting our focus from simply asking what's wrong with you to what happened to you. Our program transcends the sterile confines of medicalized symptoms to address the deep, often unacknowledged wounds of trauma. Through therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy and psychodynamic approaches, our program prepares students who are able to truly provide a safe space to process pain, rewire maladaptive patterns, and integrate fragmented experiences. It champions resilience, empowers self-discovery, rebuilds connection, allowing individuals to not just cope, but to truly heal, reclaim their narrative, and thrive beyond their deepest scars. The focus of this degree is not just about symptom management. I dare say it fosters a journey back to recovery and wholeness.
What do students of this program go on to change in their communities? Let's talk impact.
Interesting question. Our students go on to run psychoeducation workshops to destigmatize mental illness and provide basic coping skills in schools, their churches, and neighborhood care points. They go on to champion and advocate for increased government investment in mental health services and culturally sensitive policies that address the root causes of distress. Because we're a research institution, our students are able to conduct local studies to understand the unique psychological impacts of Eswatini's challenges, informing tailored and evidence-based interventions. It will interest you to know that one of our students is currently at the initial stage of conceptualizing a forensic psychological laboratory idea for the kingdom. Having identified the dearth of forensic science competencies and capabilities in the country, he has started the preliminary steps towards ensuring that one day he designs and puts together a fully fledged and functioning private forensic lab in the kingdom. Now, this is why we boast at SRU that we don't just produce graduates, we inspire change makers and transformational leaders who go on to change and impact their societies.
How do you teach students of psychology to think?
How to think, great question. Now, allow me to say that at Springfield Research University, we don't just teach students, we inspire and invite them to critically evaluate evidence and challenge assumptions at all times. Through active engagement with empirical research, we train problem solvers who understand the intricacies of research and learning, while encouraging ethical reasoning and empathetic perspectives in the responsible application of psychological insights.
Thank you, Dr. Timkuk. Let's take a break and listen to a song called Izwi Lokupulukisa.
Izwi lokuphulukisa ngaphakathi kwesikhala ze-Springfield izwi linuka lifuna ithemba ngaphezu kobuthungu emelzweni yabo bebufundiswe mbomoya siphuma sibukula ulwazi labo ukuphulukisa kuhle futhi kweqiniso simi ndawonye izifiso zikhululeke iSpringfield izisiphakamisa iqinile njengokwaziwa ngaphakathi kwezilingo ngaphakathi kokulwa impilo dlala emdelweni wonkusa langa ngalunye lukhuluma indaba engakakhulunywa kokwananga nokunakekela ikusasa liyavula siphula ukuthula saphakamisa phezulu iSpringfield imele lapho izwi likhuphuka ngaphezu kokwesaba ngaphezu kwedlule siphakama ngamandla sifunda ngokushesha amandla okucabanga isifiso sokulungisa uhambo lokunakekela olungapheli simi ndawonye izinhliziyo zikhululekile iSpringfield iziphakamisa iqinile njengokwaziwa ngaphakathi kwezilingo ngaphakathi kokulwa impilo yenkonzo ibonakale kukhanye ngokusa
Hey everyone, ready for more music? Let's listen to another song and keep the good vibes going.
In the heart of Springfield, where dreams take flight, we master the art of planning, day and night. Strategic vision, supplier ties so strong, inventory in control, we can't go wrong. Springfield's future, bright and grand, with logistics, we take command. From warehousing to orders, we pave the way. Sustainability and growth here to stay.
Risk mitigation, we face with might. Warehousing wonders, distribution in sight. Order fulfillment, every step precise. Optimizing flows, we break the ice.
Doors are opening to a world so grand. In STEM fields, we proudly stand. Innovation and knowledge are guiding light. Springfield's degree, our future bright. With passion and drive, we rise above. In logistics and supply chains, we find our love. Springfield's future, bright and grand. With logistics, we take command. From warehousing to orders, we pave the way. Sustainability and growth here to stay. Together we conquer, no challenge too steep. Springfield Research University, our guiding star. In the world of logistics, we'll go far.
Hey everyone, ready for more music? Let's listen to another song and keep the good vibes going.
Unlock your future. The doors swing wide. Springfield Research University, your future's bright. From undergraduate to doctoral dreams, in STEM fields we lead supreme. Unlock your future, the time is now. Springfield's calling, we'll show you how. Law, forestry, actuarial science, psychology, and more. Join the alliance. Unlock your dreams, unlock your life. Springfield's here to guide your stride.
The journey's grand. With innovation and knowledge, we proudly stand. Education and research hand in hand. Building a future where dreams expand.
Unlock your future, the time is now. Springfield's calling, we'll show you how. Law, forestry, actuarial science, psychology, and more. Join the alliance. Unlock your dreams, unlock your life. Springfield's here to guide your stride.
Doors are opening to a world so grand. In STEM fields we proudly stand.
Springfield's programs, our guiding light. Together we conquer, our future bright. Who's ready to win all their dreams? We are, we are, we are. We are, and there is more. Springfield's calling, let's enroll. We will unlock your future. The time is now. Springfield's calling, we'll show you how. Law, forestry, actuarial science, psychology,
need your stride. Together we conquer, no challenge too steep. Springfield Research University, our guiding star. In the world of education, we'll go far.
Welcome back, and let's continue with our discussion. How do diverse perspectives in positive psychology, cultural psychology, neuropsychology shape a student's experience at SRU?
Thank you, Advocate. Now, diverse perspectives within our psychology program at SRU are not merely academic attachments, but deliberately crafted to fundamentally reshape our students' entire intellectual landscape, particularly in areas like positive and cultural psychology. When exploring positive psychology, our curriculum, enriched by varied viewpoints and approaches, moves beyond a singular, often Western-centric definition of well-being. Students in our program learn within the localized Eswatini and African context with the appreciation that happiness, resilience, and meaning are not universally experienced or pursued in the same way. For instance, while one perspective might emphasize individual achievement and self-actualization, another from a collectivist, communitarian background might highlight communal harmony, social responsibility, or spiritual fulfillment as paramount to flourishing. Now, this comparative lens allows our students to critically evaluate the cultural underpinnings of various positive interventions and theories, fostering a more inclusive and globally applicable understanding of human potential and thriving. In the same vein, the presence of diverse voices in cultural psychology transforms the subject from abstract theory into a lived reality. Students engage with their colleagues and faculty from various backgrounds, directly experiencing and discussing how cultural nuances shape perception, emotion, social interaction, and even cognitive processes. This immediate exposure to differing worldviews makes concepts like cultural relativism, ethnocentrism, and indigenous psychologies profoundly tangible. Rather than simply memorizing definitions, our students develop a deep, empathetic appreciation for the diverse ways humans construct meaning, express distress, and seek support. This process not only enriches their academic understanding, but also cultivates vital interpersonal skills, preparing them to work effectively and ethically with diverse populations in any professional and personal context. The neuropsychology perspectives of our program radically transforms our students' learning experience by providing a tangible biological anchor for abstract psychological concepts. Students move beyond merely understanding what constitutes thoughts, emotions, or behaviors to exploring their emergence from intricate neural networks and brain structures. This dive into the brain's role not only fosters a profound appreciation for the biological underpinnings of human experience, but also sharpens critical thinking by demanding connections between observable behavior and its physiological basis. As a result of this, our students develop a more comprehensive, integrated understanding of mental health conditions, cognitive processes, and individual differences, equipping them with a powerful framework for evidence-based analysis and intervention in diverse psychological contexts.
How can a psychology student become part of the solution of the problems of depression, anxiety, and burnout?
Thank you for this great question. By becoming a beacon of mental health literacy in Eswatini, the SRU psychology students actively engage in destigmatizing conversations around depression, anxiety, and burnout, which is common in our times today. Now, beyond the conversation, students can then empower their peers and communities through psychoeducation and peer support, fostering early recognition and proactive coping skills. Ultimately, our students become crucial advocates for accessible, culturally sensitive mental health resources, driving systemic change from the ground up.
How does the psychology program stay rooted in the realities, cultures, and needs of the people?
Thank you for this question. Now, let me admit that it is true that psychology and mental health is not talked about in the same way in Africa as it is in the West. Therefore, our psychology program at SRU is designed intentionally to be a standard program that can stand shoulder to shoulder with other programs across the world. But at the same time, our programs stay rooted in the realities, cultures, and needs of the people of Africa, particularly in Eswatini. Important to note that we integrate the understanding of African psychology as an important pillar to enable our students and faculty explore indigenous knowledge systems, philosophies such as Ubuntu and other explanatory models of illness and well-being. Now, through this ensures that the foundational understanding of human behavior is relevant to the local context, acknowledging traditional healing practices and the role of spirituality and other dynamics. Our program emphasizes community psychology, focusing on preventative strategies and interventions that address systemic issues within communities. Our students engage in practical experiences such as internships and field placements in local organizations, schools, and health centers, allowing them to apply psychological principles to real-world challenges like poverty, HIV/AIDS, and trauma, which disproportionately affect Eswatini. Furthermore, at SRU we train students in research methodologies, perhaps why we are called Springfield Research University. And our methodologies are culturally appropriate, encouraging them to conduct studies that explore local mental health challenges, effective coping mechanisms, and culturally specific expressions of distress. These include understanding the prevalence of stigma, the impact of socioeconomic factors, and the role of family and community in mental health support and trauma healing within an African context.
What do you say to people who sometimes think psychology is a pseudoscience and not hard science?
Interesting question, advocate. Funny to think that people still consider psychology pseudoscience or that it is not hard science. Now you tell that to the neurons firing, the statistics validating theories, and the brain scan for empirical proof. Psychology just happens to study the most complex system known. Perhaps that is what is making those people think that they're using their brains. Well, advocate, I tell you what, the rigors of the academic discipline at SRU cannot be overemphasized. The only difference is that at SRU we are able to make complex systems and concepts appear simple and help our students understand theory and its practical application. Otherwise, psychology is a serious science that is relevant and urgently needed in our world today.
Wow, this is amazing. Let's take a commercial break and stay tuned.
Join Springfield Research University, the university that shapes the future. Admissions for August, September 2025 are now open. Introducing Education 6.0, driven by STEMA, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, medicine, and automation to STEMatize, industrialize, and modernize, SIM. We offer innovative and industry-relevant undergraduate, master's, and doctoral programs. Leap ahead with SRU. Apply today at www.springfieldresearch.university or WhatsApp +268 7619 2898. Springfield Research University. The globe is here. Where are you?
Welcome back. Let's continue with our discussion. Which industries are actively seeking psychologists today due to the versatility and adaptability of their expertise?
Great question. Okay. Well, of course, psychologists are currently in high demand across several rapidly evolving industries. Is it healthcare and mental health services, driven by growing awareness of mental well-being and the need for clinical and counseling support? The corporate sector increasingly relies on industrial organizational psychologists to improve employee performance, workplace culture, and mental health. In tech, psychologists play key roles in user experience design, AI ethics, and human-computer interaction. Education systems need psychologists to support student mental health and learning challenges, while governments and public policy bodies use psychological insights for behavior change and social programs. Additionally, the demand is rising in areas like sports psychology, forensic psychology, and consumer behavior, reflecting psychology's expanding influence across both individual and societal levels.
What are some of the most important emerging areas in psychology today, and how is SRU complying with these trends?
Thank you for this great question. Indeed, SRU is keeping students updated through our dynamic curriculum with the most important emerging areas in psychology today, which include integrative mental health care, including teletherapy and digital therapeutics. The intersection of psychology and technology, AI, augmented reality, and user experience are areas we ensure that our faculty is abreast and up to date with the state of affairs and conduct cutting-edge research to ensure that the institution keeps students ahead of the curve. Furthermore, neuroscience-informed approaches that bridge brain and behavior for deeper understanding and targeted interventions are at the top of the research and teaching priorities of our psychology program.
How does psychology intersect with key societal issues such as gender-based violence, poverty, gender identity, and violence within the national context?
This is an important question. Thank you. Well, in the country, in the Kingdom of Eswatini, psychology illuminates how we understand and deal with deeply rooted patriarchal norms, power imbalances, and how trauma cycles fuel and perpetuate violence, causing profound psychological distress and hindering help seeking. Psychology also helps us to understand poverty, which creates immense psychological stress, hopelessness, impacts identity and mental health, often leading to increased vulnerability to risky behaviors and violence. Now, when deploying interventions, psychology helps us to contextualize and understand traditional gender roles, which shape expectations, self-perception, contributing to inequalities, while individual and collective identity development is influenced by cultural contexts and societal challenges.
What would you say to those who are interested in this program but may be experiencing some doubt?
Thank you, Advocate. Well, now for those having doubts about studying psychology, I would say that is a good sign. It means you're already thinking like a psychologist, because critically examining your choices, let me say, creates the opportunity for us to say that you are already thinking like one. But let me say, without a doubt, that at this program at SRU, it is not just about textbooks. It is about unlocking the most complex mystery there is, which is ourselves and everyone around us. You will gain a superpower when you join our program for understanding why people do what they do, equipping you to make a real difference in fields you have never imagined before. So if you're ready to unravel the human mind and truly understand the world, scientifically through research and learning, then your doubts just became your first step towards the extraordinary journey. Springfield Research University is waiting for you, and your life will never be the same as you join a community of academics and scholars who learn, teach, and research beyond borders.
Springfield Research University is equipping students to understand human behavior, drive mental health innovation, and apply psychology across industries. From cognitive science to emotional intelligence, from leadership dynamics to therapeutic advancements, Springfield is shaping the next generation of visionary psychologists. Welcome to the frontier of modern psychology. See you next time on Springfield Career Insights. I am Clarence, your host. Good evening.
See Swati lines while seamlessly incorporating English for a multilingual tapestry. Genjabulo sihlomele impilo leyinhle lena. Hey hey, siyakhuphuka, siyakhuphuka, tikiti lethu Tanzania kiwa. Hey hey, siyakhuphuka, sonke siyavumelana, ngemjululo muhle sonke similela. Hey hey, siyakhuphuka, siyakhuphuka, tikiti lethu Tanzania kiwa. Hey hey hey, siyakhuphuka, sonke siyavumelana, ngemjululo muhle sonke similela. In the heart of Springfield, a new dawn breaks. With Channel Yamaswati, our future takes shape. Career insights, knowledge shared so bright. Together we rise, reaching new heights. Springfield's calling, let's unite. With Channel Yamaswati, we ignite. Innovation and growth, we lead the way. Together we shine, here to stay. Together we rise, together we shine. Springfield and Yamaswati, they're not for all time. Together we rise, together we shine. Springfield and Yamaswati, partners for all time. Celebration time, our vision clear. With collaboration, there's nothing to fear. Education and research, hand in hand. Building a future where dreams will stand. Springfield's calling, let's unite. With Channel Yamaswati, we ignite. Innovation and growth, we lead the way. Together we shine, here to stay. Together we rise, together we shine. Springfield and Yamaswati, all proud, all time. Springfield and Yamaswati, partners for all time. Doors are opening to a world so grand. In STEM fields we proudly stand. Channel Yamaswati, our guiding light. Together we conquer, our future bright.